Okay, so now what I want to do. I want to go in and start rigging this thing. Before I start rigging, let's just hide my geo for a second, and I see I've got a skeleton here. What the hell is that freaking thing? Polysoft Edge. I think I put it on the pants here. Damn it. Remember, if you use edit and you want to get rid of that thing, delete by type non-deformer history. That will keep your binding and all your rigging and stuff if you do that, because you want only the skin cluster and the tweak node. Typically on the pants and the head you're going to have a blend shape too, but that's it. Everything seems to... Oh, and I deleted the history on this thing. Okay, whatever, I'll worry about that later on. I was smoking crack, I think, earlier. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so, the skeleton. I'm just going to go here into the hypergraph so you can see this. And right here, there's my root joint. I'm just going to group that. I'm going to call this group skeleton underscore group. Good. Okay, great. And I'm going to put that onto a layer so I can quickly hide it if I want to and quickly call that skeleton underscore layer. Great. Skeleton layer. And so I can quickly hide it and bring it back when I want to. Now, what I want to do is, next thing I want to make controllers. I want to start rigging. So, I'm going to go in and make some controllers. Like one of the first ones I might do is I'll create a nerves circle. There, that's a very good controller that you have there. Okay, this one here is nice and handy. I can go in here and I can go to create polygons. I'm going to create a polygon cube for a second here. Actually, let's make that bigger. Zoom out. Let's make it big. Oh yeah, really big. There. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to create, and I'm going to use the EP Curve tool, and I usually put the EP Curve tool on one linear. And here, I'll just put this into wireframe. If you hold down V, that snaps to vertice up here. And so I can go dook, 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 beak, beak, beak. And you can go back and forth on these things if you want to. It doesn't matter. I think I got that right. Oh, you bastard. Backspace. Click there, hit enter, and if I take a look, I've got a nice curve box, essentially. Sometimes I'll call it Cuba, or like I'll call it C-box. If I wanted to, this little box, I can go into the script editor, and I can see what I was doing right here. Go up, there's the curve right there, curve, blah, 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 blah. Just going to grab that little piece of information. If I go save script to shelf and I call that C-box, now I've got a little Mel script. I've got a little button on my shelf for that. And whenever I want to create one of these, here I'll delete that. Whenever I want to create one, I just hit C-box and boom! Okay, so I'll do another one of those because I like that one. And if I go in and we'll create a polygon cone. And the cone, boop, let's make it a bit bigger. Too many subdivisions on this cone. Let's go down to 6. Okay. And I'll do the same thing. I hit 4, and I'll go here to create EP Curve tool, and maybe I'll hold down V as I'm doing this. I can truck all around the bottom if I want to, and I can truck up here and kind of do some kind of weird zigzaggy thing. Yeah. Enter, and boom, I got this thing. And I might call this one, highlight it, file, save script to shelf, and I'll call this Kona Mel. I could call it C-Cone or some, whatever I want to do. I'm just being goofy. And just get rid of that, get rid of the box. Okay, great. And maybe another one that I always like, if I get the EP... Oh, you bastard! If I get the... EP Curve tool. If I hold down X this time, I can just draw something on the grid. Okay, and this is usually what I make my God controller look like. Because you're playing God with your characters' lives. And who am I? What am I doing here? Boom! Enter. And there it is. And I might even give that one a quick one. Here I look, and there's that curve right there. Dook, and file, save script to shelf, and I'll call that God. Okay, great. Mel script. Boom. And so now I've got these little controllers around. I'm going to make this one a bit bigger, and I'm just going to look at my character here. And my character, usually I like to make them a good size bigger than my character. In the circle, you could just put that on your shelf. I'm just going to put it over here for now, and I'll bring them in when I need it. This thing, freeze the transformations. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's name this one. We'll call it God _ control. Great. And then I want to create a C box. And this is going to be my primary controller for my foot here. And I'll just go in and I'll hold down V and snap it to that joint. And then I can do things like go in here and grab these control vertices. And I'll just hold down X. Whoop. Okay, great. And I'm going to bring this out here someplace for my foot. They're looking kind of gray. Do I have soft selection on by any chance? No, I don't. Okay, I'm not sure what that's all about, but we'll just deal with it, and I'll pretend that it's supposed to be that way. There. And I can give this a nice stylish shape around my shoes. If I have my shoes here and I hit 5, I just want to see how far out are my shoes, man. We'll just go and do something like this, and yoop, 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 yoop. Goes back here. I want something you can grab from all angles easily. Oh, I can see what the hell is going on here. The problem that I've got on is I've left my symmetry on. Off! Off with the symmetry! You bastard! Okay. There we go. And so there's a nice footy shape. Okay, I'm just going to turn on my Geo. And then I'm going to go and create the little Kona thing. And this little cone, I'm going to go ahead and I'll stick it right on my knee. And I'll rotator it. I'll hold down J. And we'll pull this one over here. Great. We got 7 minutes. So I've done a little bit of cleanup, and I've done a little bit of this. Let's just do some quick nameage. And this one here is going to be me _ control. Uh-oh. Okay. And then this one here is going to be foot _ control. And I'm just going to freeze the transformations. There's no history on this thing. Freeze the transformations on that thing. Great. And now, what I need to do is I'm going to go in and go to the skeleton IK handle tool, make sure that rotate plane solver is on and sticky is on, and boop, I'm going to create an IK handle that goes from here to here. I'll create another one. When I say here to here, it's going from the hip to the ankle. Now I'm going to make one from the ankle to the ball of the foot, and I'm going to make one more from the ball of the foot to the toe. And you can kind of see in here there's created these extra little end effector things on my skeleton. Those are all good. There's my IK handles. Let's go and quickly name them. This one here is going to be ankle IK. And this one here I'm going to call that ball IK. Okay. And then I've got a toe IK. Great. So, first thing I'll do here is I'm going to take the toe IK, I'm middle clicking, dragging, and I go and I parent it to the ball IK. This enables me to give a little bit of toe wiggle. Okay? Remember, this foot rig that I'm making here is going to be a very simple foot rig. Okay? I'm not going to go crazy and trying to do some uber foot rig. This is kind of like my second intro riggy thing as I slowly show students rigging. Next one, I'm going to take the ankle IK, and here let's just hide the Geo for a second. And if I take this and I group it, I just hit Control G, you can go Edit, Group. Okay? And damn you, I grouped it, and you can see a little group showing up here. We're just going to name this thing, we'll call it heel lift _ GURP. I always put the word GURP in there so I don't get too confused with the names of things. And this thing I'm just going to hold down D and V and I'll middle click, snap a drop up there right to this this joint right here, and now that lets me lift up my foot. And if I just, again, put on the geometry now, I keep turning off the geometry so I don't accidentally snap to any of the vertices on it. But there you have it. So that's working. And then I'm going to take the two of them, let's hide this again, and I'm going to, actually I need it back here for this one. I'll take the ball IK and the heel lift group, and I'm going to group those, and I'm create another group, and I'm just going to call this one heel underscore control underscore GURP. Or I could even just, you know what? Let's just take that out of there. Let's just call it heel GURP. I got some heel GURP. I am GURP. And this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little group and I'm going to hold down D and V, boop, and pop it there. Okay, so now I can lift up my foot this way. Okay, great. Sometimes, depends on how I do this, I sometimes like to make another group, and actually, for the hell of it, let's do it. If I go ahead and I group one more time, and I go DV, boop, there. I'm just going to put that group right there, and I'm just going to call that foot underscore GURP. Great. So I got these all into place. I want this foot GURP to follow the foot control around. If I select the foot control first, hold down shift and select the foot GURP, I can go into constrain and I can use something called a parent constraint. I put a little constraint here on the foot GURP, and that means that whenever I grab this controller, it follows. Okay, and it keeps the hierarchy separate. Another thing I might want to do right now is another constraint is I go in and I select the knee control, hold down shift and select the IK handle. And if I go in here to constrain, I'm going to use something called the pole vector constraint. Boom! Okay, and whenever I move this, the knee is going to point at the pole vector constraint. One other trick is if I parent the knee control to the foot control, whenever I move the foot, the knee will always point in the direction of the foot when I do this. Okay, and I can independently move the knee if I want to. So that's pretty much set up. Now we've got two more things to do, and I'll stop this video. The first one, if I grab this foot control, over here on the foot control, I want to go in here and modify, add an attribute, and I'm going to call this one toe wiggle. Okay, and I'm not going to do anything special, I'm just going to hit OK, toe wiggle. So now we got a new attribute. Boom! Okay, great. And what I'll do then is, I'm just going to deselect everything. I'm going to go into Window, General Editors, Connection Editor. And in the Connection Editor, I can select the foot control, and I'm going to add that to the outputs. And you'll see there's the foot control. At the very bottom, that's where we're going to find our custom attribute. And let's move this over. And if I look here, I want the ball IK. I want that to be over on this side. There's the ball IK. I look down here, I'm going to look for the rotate, and there it is. Boop. Rotate X, Y, Z. Most likely it's going to be the rotate X. If you've been modeling everything so that its nose is pointing down Z, it's going to be rotate X. And they're hooked up. I can check it out if I grab this thing. Here, I'll put the geometry on so it looks better. And now I got a wiggly toe. Okay, great. That makes me happy. Now, I'm going to do this again, but I'm going to do a bit more of a complicated one. I'm going to go into Modify, Add Attribute, and I'm going to go in this attribute, we're going to do the foot roll. Foot roll. I'm going to give it a minimum of -10, maximum of 10, default 0. I'm going to hit OK. I got a foot roll. I'm just going to deselect everything, go into Animate, Set Driven Keys, Set. And here's my little Set Driven Key window. Remember, you always use driver, driven, and then you key. You adjust your driver, adjust your driven, key. That's how it works. And I grab this foot control, I'm going to load it into the driver, load driver. Okay, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to find, I'll find my heel lift group, and I'm going to go and load that as the driven. Foot roll is going to be driving the rotate X. I'm going to hit key because I know they're both zeroed out. If I take a look at the foot roll, that's 0, and the heel lift rotate X 0. Okay, great. And I just got to make sure I didn't deselect that. Okay, cool. Oh, you bastard. Okay, key, done. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to select the foot control. You can either select the foot control here, you can just click on the word up here and that selects it too. Take the foot roll and I'm going to go to a positive value, positive 10. And I'll take the heel lift group and we'll rotator it up something like this. Okay. I like to even it out so it's a nice, easy number to remember. 75 key. Okay. And then I'm going to grab the heel group and we'll load that as a driven. And I realized, oh, maybe my foot roll, I should check it. 10 down to 0. Right. And I'll just 0 it out. And I'm going to be connecting the foot controls, foot roll, to the rotate X over here. And I'll key it. And then I'll take this, and this time around the foot roll is going to go negative value. And I grab the heel group, and if I rotator this up, something impossible that's just going to wreck it here. Say negative 60. Great. Enter. And I'll hit key. And boom, boom, boom. I check it out. Foot roll, negative 10. And that's it for a foot rig. Simple, simple foot rig. Okay, and I'm going to stop here.